My dear beloved community, there's a lot of hoopla over the project Blk Project 2025. And as a former direct action grassroots community organizer, meaning that we use strategy to put our bodies on the line to get the city or state's attention to draw attention to the demands that we had. Direct action looked like sit ins in the 60s, or it looked like stopping traffic, or in New York, it was the trains. So we're inconveniencing people to get them to focus on the pressing concerns of the oppressed population that we're working with. In this case, it was Black folk in New York. I say all that to say, I genuinely do not believe that there is any new shiny object or talking point that would help Black people get free, meaning that we have all the answers that we need, meaning there are people who've been spending years of rigorous study, social scientists, organizers, policymakers, people who need volunteers, who have been doing this work because racism ain't new, white supremacy ain't new, the attack on our educational system is not new. The what's laid out in Project 2025 to undo the 75 years of progress that we had is not new. So where have all of y'all been? Particularly those who are super excited about this Blk Project 2025. This isn't you. We should have been worked on this. This should have been. Excuse me. There are people who've been working on this. Why is it that we, just collective we, because I know their names, but in terms of this collective sense of accountability, a collective we, why is it that we don't know their names? But you know the name of someone who has time on their hands to talk a lot of sugar honey iced tea on the internet, who does not have any track record in committing themselves in ways to aid in the upper mobility and liberation of Black people. But you know their names and you know their handles. There's no quick, easy fix. This requires work. It requires discipline and commitment. There's no new information, my beautiful Black people. I want y'all to know. There's information that may be new to you, but there's no new information that can be established that has all the solutions more than what our ancestors and elders have provided for us. We need to study ourselves and each other. We need to study the work that's already been there. No TV, y'all. No binge watching. Read books instead. Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy the Black Boy, Volumes 1 through 3 by Juwanza Kujufu. He was talking about the overemphasis in sports and entertainment in the 80s when we will be at a deficit of industry leaders 30, 40 years out. People have been doing this work. Where have you been? And I promise you, y'all, the people who have been doing this work, they don't got blue checks by their name probably, y'all, because they're busy doing the work, not talking about it. There's very little, especially because of surveillance, there's very little evidence of my community work. And I know I've contributed to the Fight for 15. This was back in 2016 to increase minimum wages to livable wages in New York. Trump was elected and it erased all of those efforts. Only now people are starting to get that. Now, damn near 10 years later, I've done work in terms of abolitionist work, in terms of closing Rikers and having other means of engaging community members who cause harm. I just helped create the hashtag Say Her Name when Sandra Bland was killed, because we direct action organizers, during the BLM days saw the lack of visceral response to state-sanctioned violence when Black women were the victims. This is before Corinne Gaines. This is before Rakia Boyd. This is before Breonna Taylor. There are those of us who have been doing the work, who've had to be silent, because if you're actually doing the work, you're an actual threat, meaning you're actually not safe. So I hope that the Blk Project 2025 that y'all love because it's a clickbait and it sounds cool and catchy, I hope that it doesn't extract energy from people who should instead be investing in the community organizing that is right there in their own backyard that they have been ignoring. I hope it is not recreating any wills. I hope that these people have the due diligence and sense of not integrity is important, but this sense of there are people who have answers that we need to engage, right? We're not, it's bigger than you, it's bigger than me, it's bigger than it's the collective we. So I do hope that this Blk Project 2025, sorry, I roll my eyes, y'all. I'm just so mad because, again, this work has been done in silos and it needs to be brought together. But instead, you want to do something completely new and different without the knowledge of those who've come before you. And let's not get it twisted. Let's not pretend like the people who've doing this work are failing and that's why we need something new. Again, they need the numbers and the support. But instead, you want to give your money to Dr. Umar. You want to watch people who don't have any background in Black radical tradition, people who probably aren't even Black American, highlighting popular talking points that are not rooted in any philosophical underpinning that has strengthened communities, emboldened communities prior to us. Like, what frameworks are you using? Is collective well-being excuse me. I came on here to say that we need to invest in our local Black bookstores and then your local bookstores in that order. You, listener, watcher, beautiful person whose heart is probably broken just as mine is. You need to do research and find out what pockets of community organizing is taking place in your neighborhood. And also with your friends, with your neighbors, with your community members. Y'all need to have someone, a group of people, constantly represented at your local city council meetings. Okay? Because they vote and they hold meetings, but we ain't there. And I understand we have a lot of barriers. But again, if you talk to your organizers who have strategies to navigate these systems that have been oppressing us versus people who are new and not true, people who just now figured, we need a plan. Y'all, we've been needing a plan. But again, my point is that the work has never stopped. You may have stopped working. And do not conflate your lack of knowledge, your limited contribution to this work with other people lacking knowledge and other people not contributing to this work. We all have a role to play. And we can talk strategy, but also this is not the place to talk strategy. Now, I've already said too much. And I don't even know how I can invite folk to follow me, or because there's this, again, protective thing. Because when you true, not new, it's different for the people who been doing this work, who are committed to the collective well-being, upward mobility, and liberation of Black people for real, not for fake. Not for likes, not for clicks, not for clickbait, not for popularity, not for blue checks, but for the survival and the thriving of our people. We ain't free, y'all, but I have 110% faith that we can be. We just got to do the work. We got to stick to work. We got to commit to the work. And we need to center the people, again, who have the background to inform us, opposed to people who are the loudest. Yeah. Peace and love, community. Peace and love. And Black women, put them capes down.